Hi everyone, it's Justin here, Voices for Voices. Thank you so much for joining us on this episode of the Voices for Voices TV show and podcast. Welcome wherever you may be in the United States, across the world. If you're watching, you're listening, if you've watched all or listened to all of our over 445 episodes, or if this is the first episode you're joining us, welcome. We're happy, glad, thankful, grateful for you to be joining us today. If you can do us a quick favor, give us a big thumbs up, like, follow, subscribe, share, reach out to the 20, 50, 100, your contacts in your phone. Let them know about the Voices for Voices TV show and podcast. We're here to help. We're here to change the world. We're doing that, and we're doing that with your help and your help alone. We're simply an intermediary that is helping make that happen. So thank you again for joining us. If you're able to, we are a 501(c)(3) nonprofit charity, so you are able to make federally tax deductible donations to lovevoices.org. That's lovevoices.org and lovevoices.org. Thank you. We've had just an incredible run that we're on. And again, I say thank you. Uh, truly mean it. And we can't do this without you. And we are Voices for Voices. If this is your first time, welcome. We talk about easy topics. We talk about hard topics. We talk about a lot of mental health because that's what Voices for Voices was founded on. My mental health, my mental illness journey that still continues to this day. It is being mocked by some, and I think that is very unfortunate. That's all I have to say about that. Uh, we talk about the voices and what that is. What we're going to talk about today is so I'm a believer, so we're sending good vibes, prayers your way. Can never have enough good vibes and prayers, whether you're a believer or not. And so, as a believer, the number one voice is God for me. We talk about voices for voices. So God is that voice. God speaks to us if you're a believer in many different ways. Most of them we can't hear. Uh, some of them come through our dreams. Some of them come through actions and results from actions that we are doing. For example, if there's a certain type of work that we like to do and we continue to do it and we do well and we continue to move up the chain in command, uh, that would be God's way of saying, "Hey, Justin, you're, you're doing a good job." I think this is one of the things that you're called to do here on Earth, because we know we're here for a very short amount of time, very short, and uh, as we can probably infer, way too much negativity for being on Earth for such a short period of time. You probably heard, can't we all get along? That would be great. That would be nice. Unfortunately, uh, we can still hope, we can still pray, we can um, still wish for that to happen. Just like, peace on earth. We talk about culture over politics, and that right there leads me, myself, to God. God doesn't care if you're a Republican. God doesn't care if you're a Democrat. God doesn't care if you're an independent, a libertarian, uh, any any of those or any additional. God cares about us as human beings. God sent down His only Son, not to condemn the world, but to save it. So that's one of those great, you look in the Bible, one of those Book of John quotes that is often referred to. And God didn't have to do that. He didn't have to send his only son down to earth to live amongst us who sin and sin a lot and continue to sin. None of us are perfect. Some some will act like they are, some will say that they are, that what oh, I have this sinless philosophy. Well, we all know that that's not true, because there's not one of us here on earth that is sinless. So that's what we have to say on that. So with the number one voice being God, Jesus Christ, for me, and then we work our way down, right? So we all have the ability to have a relationship with God if we're a believer. If we're not, that's okay. You don't have to believe what I believe, what we believe. You probably heard that maybe, or maybe you haven't heard that before. Like, we're not putting people in boxes. We're sending good vibes. We're here to help over 3 billion people over the course of my lifetime and beyond. We're here to help people in 3,000 cities across the world, which we're at 1,100 cities across the world as we speak and growing. We are going to be helping and reaching people in over 300 countries. We're well over 100 countries at this point. So, for all the naysayers, for all the haters, the haters are gonna hate, and that's fine. Keep on hating, and we're gonna keep on loving. We're gonna keep on helping. It doesn't matter how minuscule the help is or how big the help is. Some things get a lot of credit, and some things don't. There's no problem with that. I would say earlier in my life, I probably would have had a problem not getting the credit, and even in the later years here, up till several years ago, I have really cut back on needing needing to have the credit for what's going on, or in my life or those around me. It may look like, oh yeah, Justin, you're full of it. Well, no, I'm not. I just happen to find a platform and a way to communicate with people all across the world, and people that are with us with Voices for Voices the same way. So I'm not going to sit here and get into an argument about he said, she said. There's the facts. So something happened or it didn't happen. So we're not going to get in an argument. Nobody knows our lives like we do. Nobody knows our lives like God or whoever our higher power is that Coldplay refers to in their concerts. And you know what? Having good vibes, feeling good about ourselves, whether that's an outfit, whether that is a new haircut, a new hairdo, uh, a new tattoo. I don't know. A new song that we wrote and sang or played in the band and recorded in a studio, and now we're going on a world tour. Uh, the key is to just make sure we're staying true to ourselves, because in the end, that's all that matters. When we're laying there, and many of us will be in our final days. We'll be laying there and all kinds of thoughts will be going through our mind. I don't claim to know what those are or what those will be. Some may be, well, I wish I would have did this. I wish I wouldn't have done that. I don't know what those are going to be. So that's why for us, spending our time on earth, what little time that is, as a percentage of when we believe Jesus Christ died over 2,000 years ago. I don't know what those thoughts are going to be, but for me, I hope that so I got these, we got the, we got the sun bearing down on us, which is awesome. But sometimes it gets to my allergies here. So if you're listening, I'm just rubbing my eye here to get, so it stops watering here. I don't claim to know again, but I would rather have whatever thoughts are my last thoughts be, you know what, Justin? You try to help as many people in the world as humanly possible. And this isn't all about money. This could be something as small as opening a door for somebody and then them going, wow, that was nice. That was a nice gesture that this person did. So maybe they do something nice. And there was a commercial a few years ago, and that's kind of what it showed. It showed how little acts of kindness can multiply into bigger acts of kindness. And so when we say Jesus is the first voice, whoever your higher power is the first voice. That's that's the first voice when we see voices. When we see voices, that's that very first voice. I wasn't the first voice. You weren't the first voice. Now maybe as part of our families, maybe we were, but not to the point of like, oh, I was the first voice. No, no, you weren't. No, I wasn't. So when we really distill all our thoughts, all our actions, helping people, actually helping people, not lying. There's a lot of individuals, a lot of organizations that say, "Oh, we're helping people," yet they're literally turning their backs on people. Such as there are organizations who say, "Come, join, be with us. come to our conferences, yet they can't afford them. So that's a lie. That's called being really two-faced. Come join everybody, as many as possible, except if you can't pay the amount. We're not naming names here. We all have pretty good ideas what we're referring to. Not worth my breath. Not worth the air that I'm breathing right now. Absolutely not. So those people, those individuals, those faculty, those volunteers, those people who claim to be sinless say, come join. Everybody, come join. We're helping. We're helping. Or one of the things that we're here to do is to help. Okay. Can everybody attend? Well, they can if they pay the amount of money. They can. What about with somebody with a disability? How is that handled? Are we being inclusive? So when you can't pay the fee and fees, and I can't pay the fees and the fees, and anybody else can't pay the fees and the fees, yet the people at the top are collecting those dollars and pocketing those profits and those dollars and cents that the people that are able to pay, the people that are able to pay are able to attend. So when I say I want to help people, I want to help over 3 billion people with a B over the course of my lifetime and beyond. And I want to help people in 300 countries plus over the course of my lifetime and beyond. And yet I want to help people in 3,000 plus cities across the world. I mean it. I don't care if you make 200 million a year, if you have stock options, if you have a mansion, private plane, yacht. Uh, I don't care if you're able to pay $5,000, $500,000. I just want to help. And by telling my story and our guest stories, that is precisely what we're doing. Because guess what, ladies and gentlemen? The Voices for Voices TV show and podcast since day one has been free. You can watch, listen to episode number one, or you can watch and listen to our entire catalog of episodes on the Voices for Voices TV show and podcast for free. No paywall. We don't have a paywall. We don't have a, well, you got to pay, $5 to listen. to an episode or to watch an episode. That doesn't that doesn't do anything for me. So when people say, "Come, follow us," no, 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 they don't. They only say, "Follow us when ye has money and money to pay for a conference and money to pay to join a website or an app on social media or somewhere else." So, ladies and gentlemen, Voices for Voices is for everyone. Everyone. And so, the people that say we're for everyone, you have to do your due diligence. You have to do your homework. Are they for everyone? And one of the measures is money. Is there a sum, an amount of money that has to be paid in order to receive content? Are children and their parents allowed to attend the conference together after they've paid the sum of money? I'm talking parents and their children and guardians. Are they able to attend together without saying, "Children, come here, parents, go there"? Because yet there are organizations who will claim we're for everybody. Yet, if you look at terms and conditions, yet if you look at terms and conditions, yet if you look at terms and conditions, you will see sometimes children under the age of 18, come this way, come this way. Parents, guardians, just be within around 15 minutes in case we need you. Does that sound like does that sound like an organization that's for everybody where we're splitting parents and children? If I'm paying money and a lot of money at that, there is no fucking way that you're gonna tell me that I gotta go over there and then my kid goes with you. No way. And I'm not the only one. I'm not the only parent. I'm not the only guardian. So I say to one and to all, welcome to the Voices for Voices TV show and podcast. We're for everyone. Everyone. And we will never, ever tell you as a parent and your child that you must split off and you are unable to come together and be in the same room. sit next to your child or children. So you must ask yourself if there is an organization or organizations that tells you you have to split up, you have to use that common sense. Got to use that common sense. Is that a place that is welcoming to everybody for children under the ages of 18, parents, and even adults? Maybe an adult's 21 and wants their mom there, mom, dad there with them. Are they allowed to do that? These are the questions that need to be asked. And I think they are being asked. And I want to thank each and every one of you who is sharing this message because we're not making this up. This is true, folks. We would be doing a disservice to you and for us if we were not telling what some organizations are doing. That not only do you need to have this much money, you need to leave your child at the door and we'll see you later. Not with Voices for Voices, not with God's children, and not with anyone's children. Children are not for sale. And I'll reiterate one more time. Ain't no fucking way you're gonna take my child or anyone else's child at a conference and say, come ye, come ye, children, children, come here. Mom and dad, aunt and uncles, grandma, grandpa, guardians, you go away. We'll text you when we're done. Do your homework, everybody. Welcome to the Voices for Voices TV show and podcast. I am Justin Allen Hayes. Justice for Justin Allen Hayes. Justice for Voices for Voices. Justice for Voices TikTok. We'll see you on the next episode. Bye for now. Let's celebrate all the voices in the world and let us share the voices of not only ourselves, but those of others. Thank you.